My question today is, what is the best decision you've ever made in your life? And what made it such a good decision? Think about the lasting positive effects of it. And probably more importantly, how did you go about making that decision? And are there any lessons you can take from that to carry forward into your future decision making? And sometimes it was just lucky. So the best decision you made in your life may have just been, it turned out well, you got lucky. Yeah, and that happens. I have something like that where it's like, I didn't know, except later in retrospect, it's like, oh, that was a good decision. But at the time, it was kind of like 50-50, or sometimes you just go for it. But if you can think about the times that you've made an intentional decision and how that ended up working out well, I can think of a few of those, and it's always been very logical and quantitative. I have a tendency to, as my wife could tell you, to make spreadsheets for big decisions, and so I like to make a spreadsheet with all the factors, all the things that I can think of, and include data that is important for the decision. I also like to create a 5-point Likert scale. That comes from my psychology background. Is it very great? Is it horribly terrible? Or is it neutral in the middle? So the 5-point scale is actually very useful. And I've created something like that for the people that I consult with on their career decisions and looking at job opportunities. So looking at an offer from multiple companies and not just the compensation. So not just the financial information, but looking at other factors like, how do you feel about the leadership team? How is the board composed? Are they people you would respect? What's the brand of the company? Is it respected in the industry? What's the work-life balance? What are the opportunities like for you and your growth in the company? Things like that. So I like to make decisions and try to not have them be 100% emotional. There's always going to be an emotional component. That's normal, and you should have a gut check feel, kind of a gut check measurement, that how do you feel about this option, this versus this. But if you look at the decisions you make, I would guess the ones that were rational and considered, you probably looked at a bunch of factors before you made the final call. And it's not like it's always going to turn out wonderful. But it doesn't necessarily mean the decision was bad. So that's something that's a little difficult to separate. The outcome from the decision. The decision can be 100% rational and it's a good decision, but something else happens later that you couldn't foresee that makes the outcome maybe unpleasant, maybe not so good. But that's not a mistake in the decision making. So that's my thought for the day.